that is the story of the 36th Infantry Division of the Texas National Guard in the European theater of World War II, superimposed on top of it. 36th Infantry Division saw 24 days in combat on the Western Front in World War I, and then it participated in the occupation of Germany after the war, returned to the United States in December of 1919, and was demobilized. At that point, the division reverted to control of the Texas National Guard. Between the end of World War I and the dawn of World War II, the 36th became an all-Texas National Guard outfit. It was mobilized again on November 25, 1940, under President Franklin Delano Roosevelt's executive emergency order following the fall on Western Europe to the Nazi Blitzkrieg. Given refresher amphibious training, and then on August 15th of 1944, alongside the 3rd and 45th.
It weighs 9.5 pounds, has an effective range of 500 yards. It's gas-operated, air-cooled, semi-automatic rifle, chambered in Springfield 30-06, and fed by an 8-round in-block clip. It's the first standard-issue semi-automatic rifle, and it entered service in 1936 when it superseded the bolt-action 1903 Springfield rifle. To load the weapon, I open the bolt. When I insert the 8-round in-block clip into the internal magazine and remove thumb pressure, the bolt snaps forward, chambering around. Now, since this weapon is semi-automatic, that means that I can fire a round down range every time I pull the trigger. And this provided a very distinct speed advantage over the slower bolt-action rifles in use by the Axis powers at the time. When the final round is expended, the in-block clip will audibly eject with a pinging noise, and this gave rise to the phrase "to ping out." And this often could serve as an audio cue to a possibly disoriented or frightened soldier that it was time to reload his weapon. So, the M1 Garand rifle, once described by General George S. Patton as the finest battle implement ever devised. Private, would you demonstrate the weapon? The M1 Garand.
The M1 Garand would be the standard long arm carried by the American soldier Marine in World War II and in the Korean conflict. In addition to the M1 Garand, you had the Browning.
Called the M1 Garand the greatest battle implement ever created. I disagree, respectfully, of course. I believe this was the greatest battle implement ever created. The 1919 A2 Browning automatic rifle. This weapon weighs about 20 pounds, including a 2-pound bipod and this carrying handle. Most infantry soldiers would remove the bipod and the carrying handle to save weight. It was fully automatic, had 2 automatic speeds, no semi-automatic speed. The first speed was approximately 350 rounds a minute. The second speed was approximately 550 rounds a minute. It was fed by an external 20-round box magazine. Excuse me. And again, was used in the squads as for covering fire. It allowed the men to proceed forward while I with the BAR and my other companions with their BARs would provide cover fire to hold it, suppress the Germans so the infantry squad could proceed. And that's why I disagree with General Patton. But please don't tell him I said so. For tactics, what you see represented before you are examples of the German Army, the German Air Force, and the German Waffen SS. The German infantry started out at the beginning of the war as a 12-man squad, most of them equipped with a rifle, with 1 belt-fed squad machine gun. As the war went on and manpower became harder and harder to obtain, that got cut down to a 10-man squad with 2 belt-fed machine guns and the rest of the men with a rifle and a
squad leader with a submachine gun. So what you see here is actually a 12-man squad with one. He could be used as a sniper. This weapon existed throughout the entire war. If you would, demonstrate your weapon. That's the G43.
First became famous in the 1930s during the gangster era, and it was one of the weapons that the United States carried into the Second World War. And that's the American Thompson submachine gun. You can understand why Hollywood likes it so much. If we have a submachine gun, though, you can
pistol cartridge, the same pistol cartridge that the German Luger and Walther P-38 military pistols fired. It's fed from a 32-round box magazine. It's full automatic only, and in this configuration, it has an effective range out to about 100 yards.
This was a weapon that was used everywhere in World War II, like every branch of the American Armed Forces. We put them on ships, landing craft, we put them in armored vehicles, we put them in aircraft, and of course we gave them to the infantry. This weapon fires with 30-06 target. Notice that I said 30-06 again. That means that it uses the same ammunition as the M1 Garand and the VAR. They can all interchange ammo, which of course simplifies your logistics a great deal. This is what we call a crew-served weapon. That means that it takes more than one man to properly move and operate the piece. In this instance, we have a 4-man machine gun squad. That squad is led by the corporal, who is also the gunner, raising his hand there. He has an assistant gunner, raising his hand, and then he has 2 ammo bearers, raising their hand. The gunner got 6 ammunition and the 14-pound tripod for the weapon. The assistant gunner One thing to notice about that American machine gun is that distinctive rat-a-tat-tat-tat sound. And you heard that from the Thompson, and you
Very different sound on the battlefield. That's the German MG42. Machine gun teams, display.
to the inventory, and that weapon was nicknamed the bazooka. And to talk to you about the bazooka, Private Leonard Shepperson.
My partner here is the gunner. It has an effective range of about 300 yards, and it was designed to take out German armor. However, with the advancements of German armor, it got to where these guys were waiting until 50 or 100 yards to actually shoot at them. And as the war progressed,
Soft-skin vehicles, and it can also be a bunker buster used to destroy things like this German pillbox here behind me, which is going to be the target of our bazooka team. The bazooka was a very effective weapon when it was first introduced. You can well understand that it was a shock to the Germans that the common infantrymen now have the ability to Now, all the weapon systems that we talked about, in fact, I'm sure that most of you have watched John Wayne, Chuck Norris, or Arnold